If you get into a partnership with someone that's constantly cutting down your ideas and they're not very innovative, they don't have that mentality, it's not going to be fun for you. Being successful in business means that you need to partner up with the right people. Growing your business in isolation never works. In fact, the way that the environment is going in terms of the competitive environment, you must have partners and strong partners or strategic alliances or ventures or whatever you want to call them, but other organizations or people that you are aligned with to achieve a mutual goal. That's essentially what a partnership is. So for you to have a successful business, you need to have strong partners. And these are the 4 things to take a look at when it comes to partnering. These are the 4 things that I look at every single time I even consider a partnership. And these are the 4 things that we work with our clients on when they are developing new partnerships as well. And the first one is obviously performance. If you're going to be in business with someone else, you want to make sure that they're high performers, because average performance doesn't cut it. Poor performance will definitely not cut it. You want to be in business with an organization that provides great results, and it is known for their performance. We've had so many nightmare situations ourselves and with clients where, and we've learned the hard way, when you get into bed with an average performer, your performance drops as well as an organization. So just like that old saying, you're only as strong as the weakest link, that is very much the key premise in business as well, because it's an ecosystem, and any weak link in your ecosystem is going to cause your business challenges. So you want to make sure that your partners at least somewhat close to equal performance as you, if not better. And then that means that you might be the weak link and you have to up your game. But make sure that they are known for what they do, that they provide great results, and you definitely want to check references. You definitely want to check with their suppliers, with their buyers, with their partners to get a sense of how this organization does business. You definitely need to do some background checking for sure. The second one is an alignment in values. Now, this doesn't seem very important for business, right? Like, what do you mean values? Who cares? We're in it to make money. We're in it to really crush the competitive space. No. The biggest breakdowns in business partnerships or alliances really comes down to values. And why is that? It's because people run businesses. It's not AI. It's not robots running businesses. There's people running businesses, and people make decisions based on values. And so if your values do not align with the other organization's values, specifically the individual running the show, this is what we're talking about, CEO to CEO or business owner to business owner, your values must align. Now, they don't have to be perfect, but there should be some kind of very close alignment, because I'll give you an example. This happens very often. One organization is all about profit, and they don't really care about their customers or clients like they should. And then the other organization is about profit, but they truly care about their customers and clients. There's always going to be a conflict when it comes to, okay, what does a strategic direction look like? What does a strategic plan look like when it comes to that alliance or partnership? Because they're going to be thinking about solely profit, and you're going to be thinking about profit plus your customers or clients. And I can guarantee you, you're going to have some kind of dispute that may not end up well. So you want to make sure that your values have some kind of alignment from that perspective. The third one, which is one of my favorites, is interdependence, which means that you want to get into bed with someone who needs you in some way, shape, or form in the future. There needs to be some kind of interdependence, meaning that your health long-term is going to impact their health long-term. Why? Because if you get into a relationship, a partnership with someone who doesn't need you, it's easy for them to let go of the partnership, right? It's easy for them to start looking out somewhere else. And I'm not saying you're completely dependent. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying interdependent long-term, meaning that will you both be able to provide value long-term to each other where it's of benefit to both parties? That's interdependence. But if they're not going to get any benefit from you long-term, or you're not going to get any benefit from them long-term, it's going to be easy to break up that partnership. Yes, short-term partnerships do work. Might be a couple of months, a couple of years, whatever it might be. But longer-term strategic partnerships are always better. Why? Because it takes a lot of time and effort to build a partnership, a lot of time aligning the organizations, whether it's resources, people, strategic plan. And if you continue to do that over and over again, it's like getting married, right? You don't want to get married every 5 years. You want to stay married for as long as you can, because there's a lot at stake, right? There's a lot of cost, money, resources that goes up front. And then when it falls apart or you go your separate ways, there's a lot of cost, energy, and time as well. And so that just continues to happen. The same thing with your business. You want to have long strategic interdependence, which is very, very, very important. Now, this is one of my personal, you can say, factors that I pay very close attention to, because as an entrepreneur, things should be fun, right? You're going to go into work, they should definitely be fun. You're going into work, you should work with people that you are having fun with, that you enjoy working with. Same goes for your partners. And so I always try to determine if that individual is a person that tries to figure out how to make things happen rather than cut the ideas down. And as simple as this, if I say, well, what do you think about this? And if their immediate reaction is, no, we can't do that, that gives me a sign, versus, that might be an interesting idea. Let's take a look at it. Because as soon as someone cuts down your ideas, that just stops the creative flow. That stops the innovation within the organization. Yes, you do need to have no people on your team. You do need to have critics on your team, but you don't want to have cynics. Cynics are people that just constantly rip ideas apart just because it's part of their personality. But you want people on your team that are challenging you. Absolutely. You want people on your team to ask very tough questions and hold you accountable, because if you are doing something just based on your own assumptions and bias, that's not a great way to make decisions or run a business. So having people there to challenge you is important. But if you get into a partnership with someone that's constantly cutting down your ideas and they're not very innovative, they don't have that mentality, it's not going to be fun for you. And you're not going to enjoy dealing with this person. And I've had this happen where every time I see that person's name and in my calendar where I have to meet with them, I'm like, oh God, it's going to be one of those draining conversations. That's not what you want with your partnerships. You want to have energy-filled, passionate conversations with your partnerships. Yes, there's times when those conversations are about challenges or problems that you have to deal with, or maybe you're not on the same page, but the majority of your conversations should be positive, innovative, creative with your partners. So again, those are the 4 things you want to look at. Value. Are your values aligned? Do they have high performance? Is there strategic interdependence? And is that person someone who can build on your ideas rather than cut them down? If you focus on these 4 factors when it comes to performance, I'm going to say you're way ahead of the game there.